Protecting me is part of God's plan. God's love will never allow me to fall. Anyone foolish enough to challenge me will fall to me. God will never fail me or give up on me or leave me without support. God will not leave me helpless, nor forget me. God will never let me down. God will not let my children down. God will not relax his hold on me, most assuredly not. God will fulfill every need I have out of his glorious riches. God will generously provide all I need. I always have everything I need and plenty left over to share with others. God rains down prosperity on me and peace and abundance. God floods me with wealth from all over the world. Like a thundering river, the riches come down. Like a baby resting securely in God's arms, I am held, carried, nourished, and comforted. I am like a tree planted by flowing cool streams of water that never run dry. No matter what I do, I prosper. I am filled with love support from God, and I can afford to support my family. I adhere, trust, and rely upon God, and I am never disappointed in my expectations. God has never quit loving me and never will. I expect love, and more love. God gives me everything in abundance, more than I expect, and fullness until I overflow. The opposite of my fears is a promise. Nothing can ever separate me from God's love. Not even the powers of hell can separate me from my promise of God. God has spread out a table of gigantic provisions for me despite the attacks. I am diligently cared for, and God takes care of all of my needs. I'm refilled and comforted again and again. I can count on God's faithful protection and loving provision to remain constant, always, everywhere that I go. God is always with me, and he provides me with help. I can afford to support my family. Even if the mountains heave up from their anchors and the hills quiver and shake, God will not desert me. I can rely on God's enduring love. God's promises to me will stand forever. God's love will never give up on me. God has good plans for me, plans to give me peace and not evil. God's plans are to give me the expected end that I hope to happen. God has blessed me with a future filled with hope and of success, not of suffering. God has told me his promise so that his joy and delight of fulfillment are mine now, and that joy is full and overflowing. God is always watching his promise to me, and he will fulfill it. He will increase me enormously and bless me just as he promised. I will continue to expand more and more with blessings until I'm extremely wealthy. I am blessed to be a blessing, and I am a blessing to others. I believe that God is with me and that he will do what he promised. I am strong in all things because Jesus constantly infuses strength in me. God fights for me, and I only need to rest and remain calm. I am surrounded by God's favor, and his power flows from within me. I will be shocked and amazed by what God does for me. His blessings for my life are so big, I wouldn't be able to contain it all if He told me. No weapon forged against me will be allowed to hurt me, and no voice raised to condemn me will successfully prosecute me. It's that simple. This is how it will be for my life. God will always vindicate me. I cast all of my worries, fears, needs, and burdens on God, and He always sustains me and holds me up. Nothing that I fear will ever happen. Even in the unending shadows of darkness, I am not overcome by fear. Because God is with me in the dark moments. He is near with His protection and guidance, and I am comforted. God has spread out a table before me of provisions in the midst of attack from my enemies. God cares for all of my needs, anointing my head with soothing, fragrant oil, and filling me and refilling me again and again. His faithful protection and loving provision pursue me wherever I go, always. God is my light amidst the darkness, and my rescue in times of trouble. I have nothing to fear. He surrounds me with a fortress of protection, so nothing can cause me alarm. Anyone who comes against me will fall. God lifts me high above those with thoughts of death and deceit. When others desert me, God lifts me up. I move past my enemies with one sure hope, that with my own eyes I will see God's goodness. My weakness is my strength and a conduit of God's power. God pours His power through my weakness. My weakness is a portal of honor and not a place of shame or humiliation. I am blessed, and no curses can affect me. You cannot curse who God has blessed. God has put a blessing on me, and I reap 1,000 times what I sow every time. God is the fire that surrounds me and protects me from my enemies. God is the glory in my midst. Every hair of my head is counted. I'm more valuable to God than even the little sparrows. God is always watching over me and taking care of all of my needs. God gives me prosperity and peace. God has spoken. He has given me rest on all sides from my enemies. Everything will happen right on time. I never have to worry about anything. All things work to bless me. I am always favored by God. God gives me plenty of good things. He makes me look young again and restores my youth like an eagle that grows new feathers. God changes my hardship by making the hard brown hills sparkle with streams of fresh water and causes the valleys to come alive with springs of water. God helps me. He takes hold of my right hand and whispers, "Don't be afraid. I will help you." I know that God always answers my prayers, so I say to my soul, "Don't be discouraged. Don't be disturbed, for I know my God will break through for me." I am blessed and favored because I believe that what the Lord promised me will be fulfilled. God is my shelter and my strength. When troubles seem near, God is close and ready to help. So I don't need to run and hide. I am at peace. Everything will turn out good. I don't need to worry because God will take care of me. I give my worries to God, and before I know it, I sense God's wholeness and peace, that everything is coming together for good. God's love settles me down, and wonderful things happen as God's love displaces every worry. The opposite of my fears is a promise. Love is the opposite of fear. God will never allow me to be shaken, slip, or fall. No one who trusts in the Lord will be put to shame or disappointed. God will grant me any prayer request. All I need to do is ask and trust Him to fulfill it. God sends orders from heaven and He saves me. He humiliates those who kick me around. God delivers generous love and makes good on His word. In the past, other people shamed me and said bad things about me. I was shamed much more than other people. So now, I always get blessed 2 times more than other people. I get the joy that continues forever. And my praises fill the heavens forever. God is fulfilling His vow to make every day a love gift to me. I love God's promises and have an abundance of peace. Nothing along my path can cause me to stumble. There will be no dishonor or shame. I will not be disappointed. I don't worry. I have the victory. I do not grieve, for the joy of the Lord is my strength. God's love and support to me never runs out. My hopes will be fulfilled. Faith makes me sure of what I hope for and gives me proof of what I cannot see. God provides for those He loves even while they sleep. God gives me easy provision without stress even while I sleep. God exceeds my expectations, and the action of His power that is at work within me is able to superabundantly do far over and above all that I dare to ask or think, and infinitely beyond my highest prayers, desires, thoughts, hopes, or dreams. Whenever I pray, I always believe that I received it, and I always get what I prayed for. I always believe something wonderful is about to happen, because without faith it is impossible to please and be satisfactory to God. For whoever comes near God must believe that God will respond, and that He is a rewarder of those who earnestly and diligently seek Him out. Nothing is impossible for me, because with God anything is possible. There is always an abundance of provisions for me hidden in plain sight. I always have more than I need and plenty left over. God promised with an oath to give me whatever I ask. I have faith in what I pray for. I keep praying and expecting, and answers keep coming, and the door always opens up. No matter what I do, I prosper, and God's support in my life never runs dry. God shows up to save me and cover my needs time after time. God always does what I hope and not what I fear. I believe in what I pray for, and I receive the fulfillment. I believe God's promises to me, and I receive the fulfillment.